my friends. I hope everybody is doing okay. Spring has sprung. I am on my way to an Aliner Rally with the Wolf Pup. I was requested to come to this rally to do photos and videos for the Aliner organization, and I thought it would be fun to see all my Aliner friends, so I'm going. Right now we are on US 25 in North Carolina, taking the mountain route. I don't know what this river is next to us, but it could be the New River, and it is curvy and all over the place. Aquila is whining. He doesn't like it as much, but it's a pretty river and there's a lot of nice places to pull off. I should probably pull off on one and let Aquila lift his leg on a tree. I could probably lift mine on some tree too if I could find a nice spot, but since I'm pulling the trailer, there aren't a lot of big places for pulling off, and I don't want to block the road, of course. We have been AWOL for about a month and a half, probably even longer than that. We came back from Quartzsite in February, and my son and his wife wanted me to come up and see my grandson and help him with his new house. He bought a new house and they moved into something bigger with the baby. So I brought all my tools up to New York and we fixed some plumbing, some molding issues, and we had a good time. I babysat for an evening while they went out and had drinks and pizza, and I had a good time. It was a lot of fun to visit with the little one. They're not much trouble at that age. He was I think about 4 months old, and I stayed there a week and visited. He bought a house almost across the street from my old high school, so there was a lot of places I wanted to explore and check out because of that location in my old neighborhood, and we did that. We stayed there a whole week, me and Aquila. And Aquila got to play with his cousins. He's got a standard poodle, a big white sock puppet of a mutt. And so he got to play. And although Aquila isn't a very good dog for playing with other dogs, I think they wrestled over sticks a couple times, but otherwise, he doesn't like, dogs play by getting on top of each other, and he didn't really like that much. We had a really good time. I got some Syracuse donuts and some New York maple syrup, which I like to keep a supply of maple syrup in my house. And now we're on our way to the Cumberland Gap National Historic Park, which I'm told is a pretty nice place. I'm told it used to be a state park and they turned it over to the feds. So it's got pretty good facilities, and now it's a federal park, so I get a big discount on camping rates. Since I've never been there before, it was a easy choice for headed there and doing a video. Excuse me. Kind of tired, I guess. We've been driving on interstate highways for the last hour and a half, which is really boring. And we hit the traffic jam, of course, where they're doing construction in Asheville. They're still working on the highway. Since when was that? Was that January or December that Hurricane Helen came through? I think it must have been. It must have. But anyways, I've got the camera turned around and I can't see what it's looking at, so I hope it's working. Hopefully you get an idea on how windy this road is by looking out the window. We got the boy right behind me sitting on the back seat. He likes being on the back seat because the air conditioning comes out of the middle console here, and he likes it blowing right in his face. So I've been AWOL, working on my house, working on my son's house, and visiting him. And I spend a lot of time working on my lawn because my lawn used to be all mud. Didn't used to be lawn at all. And with the dog, and he likes to play and run and jump and do all those things with his balls and sticks. And he brings in a lot of mud if it's muddy, so I try to get the grass to grow so the amount of mud that he brings in is minimized. And of course it looks better when it's grass instead of mud, but I also had some house chores I had to do with some gutter cleanings and deck repairs and things like that that I did in the fall that weren't really as good as they should have been. I had a tree cut down, and when they cut down my tree, they made some huge divots in my lawn, which I had to fill with dirt, sprinkle some seed on, and some of them came up, but most of them did not. So, and I had a whole bunch of hedges and bushes that had to be trimmed. Now I'm going to be traveling to Mount Rushmore, South Dakota, and hopefully my neighbor will watch over my lawn. He's got a big riding zero-turn John Deere tractor that he can he mows my lawn when I ask him to. So I'm hoping when I come home I won't have a whole lot of lawn care and landscaping to do. He's a pretty good guy. They also watch my house and bring in my mail and stuff like that. The house does have cameras all around the outside of it and an alarm system, so I don't worry about the house too much. And it's all on the internet that I can kind of check on it as I need to. Oh darn, I forgot to turn the water off in the hot water. I usually turn those both off. I think we just crossed over. People often ask me how the 4Runner pulls the trailer up over hills and stuff like this. And this was a pretty good hill on the route, a regular 4-lane highway. And we were passing cars and trucks that were slowing down because of the hill. So it gives you a good idea. The 4Runner doesn't have too much trouble pulling this little trailer. It's roughly around 4,000 pounds maxed. And the 4Runner can pull 5. I'm pleased. We are at the top of the Clinch River watershed. Didn't give me elevation, but it's a road I don't think I'd want to go off the edge. Although there seem to be roads going down. It's pretty nice scenery up here. This is US 11E. It is the East Tennessee Byway, Cross Tennessee Byway. The East Tennessee Cross Byway. It's not a bad road. Gets a little hilly in places. I guess there's a tunnel up here somewhere. I keep seeing signs that say no class 1 cargo in the tunnel. I'm not real familiar with what class 1 cargo is. I assume that probably would be gasoline and propane and other dangerous explosive chemicals. So I'm not carrying cargo, so I don't think the tanks on the trailer mean much. It keeps looking like we're heading into mountains, but I don't see tunnels. Thornhill Volunteer Fire Department. Okay, we're going down between the mountains now. Got a nice easy incline here. According to Google, we're 30 minutes out yet. Looks like they had to blast quite a bit of this road to put it in. Well, we got a little rain here. Let's see what we got here. Pretty nice that the sites are pretty close, but they look pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of trees and brush between the sites. I think we're on site 46, I think she told me. We might have turned too early. Might be C4. C19 looks pretty good. C20 looks real short. The ones on the left side are a lot longer than the ones on the right. Oh, there's a little A-liner. C24. Well, the temperature is 66 and the humidity is about 90. So we just went for a little walk and I'm sweating pretty good and pretty tired. And I figured the battery went dead on the GoPro, so I couldn't show you the bathroom or the other campsites, but let's see what we got here. This is all one way, although in reality it's so uncrowded, I don't imagine it's really a big deal. This is the F crossroads. This is one huge loop with all these crossroads where the campsites are. Very similar to many other national parks, and they have these little signs for the bathrooms or the shower houses. Obviously there's more than one because this isn't the one I went to first, but they're individual shower stalls, like different rooms, different doors, and then there's the bathroom. So they're pretty nice. They have a few tiles missing in the one I looked at that the camera didn't work for, so I don't know how beat up or bad they are in most of them, but they're not bad. They're clean, they're nice. The problem I have is you can only get to them going one way. You have to go around the whole campground to get to the shower house. And I don't know if, like, it goes, the crossroads are A, B, C, D, and I don't know, G seems to be group campsites. We walked all the way down here. These are E, 30. These are like tent sites. And there's the dumpster site. The dumpster sites are nice and level, while the campsites are not. And this is the parking for the amphitheater. And then there's this road to the amphitheater. And then there's our site. And I think we're right across from a host who has two big dogs, black and tan. What do they call those things? They're curly-haired. And that's the dump station right in front of us. It's a pretty nice dump station. Nice fresh water. Got flush out water. Way apart from each other, so that's not bad. There's the A loop. This is the B loop. And somehow we came down to the C loop, and that was our loop. On here, there's an A-liner down here that I'd like to say hi to if they're out and about. A couple of little tab trailers and mini trailers. Oh, there's a bathroom right there. Utility trailer, and here's the A-liner trailer. It's just a regular old A-liner, no dormers or anything like that. There we are. We're gonna go around again. Go into the dump station. Campground host and firewood sales. This is the dump station. It's down below grade, so it's all downhill. There's a clean water station. Seems to be pretty good clean water. And then there's recycling and dumpsters. Looks like from the map, between every one of these roads there's a shower house bathroom. Here's a big old fifth wheel on C2. Looks like plenty of size, plenty of room for that. Some of these are pretty small though. We're in the D4, 5, 6. These are pretty short and not level at all. There's E2. Looks like a big site, but it's not level. It's got a dumpster site. See, the dumpster sites are concrete. Cement. F2 and F3, you're right up against the cliff. So you don't want to back up far if you got an RV. Now here's G. And here's the G bathhouse we went to. And they actually have a kind of a parking area here. You can see this car is parked. A little Kia. D7. This is the D road. That goes to F17. 08, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picnic tables. So I'm going to think that's probably a group site. E25, it's a short little site with a road that goes to nowhere down the cliff. E27 is another cliffside site. The outside sites are cliffside sites. We're on top of a mountain here, and B road over there, B road, and then the C road. We're going to follow the C road. It's a little car that's C3 looks pretty flat. This guy's going into C7. That looks pretty nice. I guess the ones on the crossroads are the flattest and the nicest. C9 looks pretty nice. Here's the bathroom sign. We're gonna check out the bathroom. The host is right next to it. This one, these are the showers. These are pretty nice, big room. This one looks like it just got done being used. Now they don't have any soap dish or anything like that, so you're on your own, but they do have a bench. And they do have a big bench here. They do have hooks for clothes. Let's see what the other one looks like. This one was the same, pretty much. It's interesting, the water gets all the way over here. So this is the campground. So we are up over here. Oops. So we followed CN, and these are the bathrooms along this trail here and here. And we walked down to this one because that's kind of where the map said it was, but it was a long walk from where I am. I have to see if this is closer, what that's like. So there's a cave, and there are bears here. No cash sales. You can do recreation.gov with the Scan Me tool. They're doing that at more places. That's pretty cool. There are a lot of birds here. You can hear the birds. This is probably one of the flyway areas for migrating birds. Quite a few people on the sea loop. The visitor center and all the hikes that we wanted to do were on the other side of the tunnel, so we had to go through the tunnel every half a day to get to the places we wanted to go to. But there was the tri-state marker that we wanted to go to, where Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky came together. Had a big marker there, and we wanted to go up to the Pinnacle overlook, which was a nice overlook of the Cumberland Gap Valley, which the volunteer up there told us it was a crater. I'm not sure what kind of crater. I don't think it was a meteor crater or something, but it was a big bowl in the mountains. So would just be a sinkhole in reality. But it was pretty interesting, and we had a good time hiking around. So this is how the pioneers got through the gap. They took this tunnel. Pretty impressive tunnel. Quite long, too. To turn up the fans in here. It smells pretty bad. Too many people in the South have old cars. They don't have catalytic converters, or they take them off. Just through the tunnel is the visitor center. So I think we're gonna try this, see if they're open, which they're probably not. It's 5 o'clock. Okay, we're at the visitor center. Change cameras. So they're open 9 to 4, so we're here too late. Restrooms are over on the side, no pets. No vehicles over 20 feet out over the Pinnacle Road. No trailers of any kind on Pinnacle Road. They have this is really nice information, really good stuff. Bear spray, good idea. Air horn is what we used to use when I was fishing wildlife. We'll have to come back tomorrow. Pretty neat. They have these things from historic people. First written record of the discovery of Cumberland Gap. Jane Gray Stevenson. Be a good place to throw a ball. A couple of cannons around here. Walking dogs. I expect I probably should go back and find the camera. So the next day we drove to the top of the Pinnacle Road to the overlook, and of course it was all fogged in. It had rained overnight. Quite severe thunderstorms with a lot of hail and everything. It sounded terrible on the trailer. But we drove up anyways, and weren't many people up there. I felt bad for the young couple that had hiked all the way up. There are trails to hike up, but you can drive too. So we drove, but it was completely fogged in. There was no visibility beyond the stone wall of the overlook. So we went back later to get some pictures. What time do you blow the fog off the top of the mountains?
Hard to say. I can't predict that. It'll go when it goes.
You don't have a big fan up there that just blows it away?
Sorry.
Pretty big visitor center. A lot of stuff going on in here. Just a tree there. Got some really neat dioramas here. They're a little dark. They don't have lights. There's the road. Daniel Boone and his loggers cut the road through the mountain. Gotta get those bird sounds in here. Now there's park rangers. No more settlers and mountain men. Civil War soldiers. This is all the rock. Sandstone conglomerate, which hasn't been pressed into crap yet. Shale, coal, shale, sandstone again, limestone, coal, sandstone, and iron ore. Here's the tunnel. I hear elk. You gotta stay here, puppy dog. When they have hazardous materials going through the tunnel, they close it. Seems kind of silly to me, but I suppose. He's sitting in all 3 states. Well, his tail is in Tennessee, his feet are in Kentucky, and his tongue is in Virginia. I wonder if these were put this way or if they just warped. Got pretty interesting.
First time here, folks?
Yeah. I'm with them.
You're with them?
Yeah. They don't claim me. They're not
You
claiming
even
me.
admit to it? Okay.
This is my second time. I was here earlier in the day.
Okay. Well,
But it was all in clouds.
yeah.
Here, ever since I was a kid.
Okay. All right, we'll give you a quiz then. Here's your quiz. What state are you standing in right now? The park is in 4 states. It's Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, and the state of confusion. Which one are you in?
Yeah, Virginia.
Think so? Okay. Anybody else have a guess?
State of confusion.
Kentucky. You're in Kentucky. Wearing a Tennessee shirt. He's in Virginia. Now I can